Hi everyone, welcome to week 6 of your technical math class. There is a ton of material to cover this week, so don't wait until the last minute. It's very important that you get on this week right away. You're going to be covering 2 chapters. Chapter 9 is all about powers and polynomials, and then chapter 10 follows. It's about products and factors, and they both go together very well. And it basically is just, one just takes you right into the other topic. So this particular slide deck is also got a ton of material in it, lots and lots of examples of these different rules that you're going to learn, and things like that. So I just wanted to point out a few of them at a high level. I definitely can't go through every single slide because there are so many, but I want to make sure to point out some of the important ones. First of all, let's do a quick review about what an exponent actually is. When you think about the exponent is that small number above the base. So the base is the big number, or letter in this case, and the exponent is the small one. And what that exponent tells us is how many times we multiply that base together. So a to the 4th means we're multiplying a times itself 4 times. So just a reminder, we learned that back a few weeks ago, so just kind of keep that in the back of your mind. Now we've got several rules in the first chapter, chapter 9. The first one is the product rule. And what that means is the basic gist of the product rule is that if you're multiplying two numbers with exponents together, as long as those bases are the same, and this only works if the base is the same, then we can just add the exponents together. So if we have the exponents or the base is the same, we can add the exponents together. So I've got a couple of examples for you in here. Here's one right here. If we take x to the 3rd times x to the 5th, that's going to equal x to the 3 plus 5. We're going to add those two exponents together. So it's x to the 8. Only reason it works though is because those bases are the same. Okay, so keep that in the back of your mind. So we have a kind of the inverse of that, which is the quotient rule, which says if you have the same base and you're dividing, then you subtract the exponents. So it works the exact same way as before. You have to have the same base. So here's an example, 8 to the 7th divided by 8 to the 3rd. And the way we find that is by doing the 7 minus the 3, which is 4. So 8 to the 4th. But again, you have to have the same base. You have to have 8 being the same in order to be able to use that particular rule. We have an exponent, negative exponent rule. I don't know if you remember this one from maybe high school. I love this one. Anytime you have a negative exponent, the way you make it positive is cross the line, change the sign. So if you ever heard that before, this is what it means. So it means if it's in the numerator, which this one is because there is no denominator, right? You cross the line, so that means you move it into the denominator and you change the sign to positive. So it would work the same way if it was already in the denominator and you wanted to make it positive, you would just pull it up to the numerator. So cross the line, change the sign. That's the negative exponent rule. Another rule that you're going to be looking at is the power rule. So that means if you have something raised to a power and then raised to another power, that's the same as multiplication. So that's the power rule. Let's see here. And we also have a product to a power. So what that means is if you have a whole thing raised to a power, it's just like taking each piece and raising it to that particular power. So that's the gist of chapter 9. Again, there's a lot of stuff in chapter 9. Even more stuff though in chapter 10. Chapter 10, you're going to get into looking at the difference between a monomial and a binomial, operations involving polynomials, how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide them. You may remember something called FOIL. FOIL is going to be one of the key things that you're going to be using in this chapter. You're going to be learning again how to use FOIL if you don't remember that from before. So please make sure that you look through these slides. If you have a topic that you don't remember, that you're confused about, that you just really don't know what to do, please make sure that you're reaching out to me so that we can set up a time to go over everything together. Refer back to these slides, refer to your textbook, but always remember to refer to me. So again, as with all of these weeks, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help. Make sure that you reach out to me for any particular questions, and have a great week.